Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Najwa. I'm so happy you're here. If you are new to this channel, please do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, hit that bell so you know whenever I post video. So the narcissist is in this for the long run, okay? And this is something I feel like every noob to the game, every empath, every person really that lives in this day and age, okay, any person alive in 2023 basically needs to know how to navigate the narcissist's gross toolbox and their long run game. I'm going to tell you why. I got to roll my sleeves up. I'm going to tell you why. It's because we live in the age of the narcissist. We live in such a narcissistic time, guys. Just take a look at the wider world. Take a look at all the culture wars, cancel culture, divisive stuff, just all the time, brewing all the time. We try to figure out why our governments can't function. Is because literally there is no harmony. There's no harmony. It is a bygone time. That's the second time I've used that phrase today, but it's so true. But it is a bygone time when people in a democracy just came together, even with different views, and just tried to put in their best and make it work. No, we don't live in that time anymore. It is a bygone time that okay, this person doesn't have their blinker on, but you know what? I'm just gonna let them go. No, we live in a time where people get out of their vehicles and break people's windshields. I literally saw this the other day. We live in a narcissistic time. The reason for that being really, I think, comes back to corporate greed. I mean, it's just, we didn't realize it. It's like, do you remember that movie While You Were Sleeping? It's like, while we were sleeping, greedy corporate execs just basically sucked out our empathy and our humanity and just was like, you know what? Screw scruples, screw being a good person, screw compassion, just try your best to get ahead, it doesn't matter what you do to get ahead. When that's kind of the culture that comes to life, it's not very, I don't want to say, it's not very surprising that that's the way that our relationships would be. That's not very surprising that that's the way that our romantic relationships would be, that our friendships would be, that our family dynamics would be, that our workplace relationships would be. I mean, it's not very surprising. We live in a narcissistic time. So again, what is a narcissist? A narcissist is someone who has an inflated sense of self. They don't think about others. They don't have empathy. They don't think about how is what I'm saying, the things that come out of my mouth, my actions, how is it going to affect others? They have grandiose ideas. They live in this sort of delusional state. They don't want to live in reality. They want to live in a reality where everything revolves around them. It would seem that a narcissist is someone who is extremely overly confident, but you chip away that veneer and it's actually someone who is deeply, deeply insecure. So just think about what that says on a bigger societal level. Basically, I think if we want to address the bigger issue with society and narcissism, we've got to look at ourselves, and we've got to look at what we've gone through when we face the abuse of the narcissist. I can say something that I see that is a commonality with other people who have suffered, especially empaths, who have suffered at the hands of narcissistic abuse, is that they can't wrap their head around. It's like I've got to talk with my hands to even portray this, because again, the narcissist just doesn't think like a normal person. But the empath or the victim of narcissistic abuse can't wrap their head around how someone could be so flippin' evil. You know what I mean? It's like we are absolutely overwhelmed with not a lack of understanding, disbelief, and sort of psyching ourselves out to understand how someone could go this long. Because narcissists, they like good supply. They don't want a supply that's just going to come and go. They want someone who is going to give them that praise, that, pump up their inflated sense of ego over and over and over again for a long, sustained period of time. And so, for that reason, the narcissist is in this for a long run game. They want to use you and abuse you for as long as they can. And they will keep doing it if they can. They will try everything in their book to keep that mask on so that you continue to think that they are a victim, so that you continue to think that they are innocent, so that you continue to think that they are a good person. But deep down, something tells you that something is wrong. And then flash forward towards the end of your relationship where you finally realize that going no contact or very, very little contact, gray rock or yellow rocking, is the only option. By that point, you've seen the narcissist mask slip time and time and time and time again. And you know that this person is totally, totally evil, right? By that point, the empath, the sort of person who is just kind of like, in touch with their emotions, someone who feels compassion and empathy normally, someone who can put themselves in someone else's shoes, someone who feels pain and sadness and tenderness for another person, who doesn't want to see other people suffer. You as that person who kind of has that normative, coming from that space, you just don't understand how anyone could just plant these seeds for so long just to control you, because that's what they do. Little snide comments here, talking and triangulation and sending flying monkeys there, spreading rumors, but keeping their hands clean. You guys know what I'm talking about. Just those weird little things. The weird comments are the biggest things, the awkward silences, of which they are expecting you to continue kissing their butt. But when you don't kiss their butt, these awkward silences are weighted with a bunch of anger and tension. And it's just weird. Them trying to control what you eat and what you say and how you dress and your makeup and your hair. In weird ways, they pose it as something that is a protective thing. But they are actually psychopaths who think that you should just exist to please them. And they do this over long periods of time. It could be over months. It could be over years, okay? It could be over decades. Why would somebody sit and put in all of that effort when they could actually just go get a therapist? When they can just go and live a normal life? When they can literally just, get compliments the natural and organic way by meriting them, by deserving them. No. And trust that you're not the only supply. I guarantee you, any narcissist, they've got at least about 5 on hand. At least. And they are willing to do this weird, insidious, backhanded, sly, sleazy, greasy stuff. Planting of seeds, controlling you for years and years and years and years. And you ask yourself, how is this worth it? Well, they just don't think like us. They just don't think like you. They don't think like me. They don't think like people who have a heart inside of their body that is pumping red blood. I mean, of course, we all have hearts that's pumping red blood, but their heart is cold. I mean, literally, there's nothing in there. There really isn't, and I think one of the biggest traps that us empaths fall into is that we think that we're dealing with a normal human being and that there is something in there, but it's not. For some people who are not so far gone, who got help and who did their mental health work, and who try their best to heal, they recognize that they have this thing in them and they try every day to work at it. Almost like a person who, any other person with any other kind of disorder. It's like they try their very best to compensate for their shortcomings. If that is the narcissist that you're dealing with, you actually might see some improvement, but 9 times out of 10, it's like no. Like even therapists, we've said on this channel, even therapists who sit with narcissists, they feel absolutely depressed being in their presence because they never ever will get it. You can sit there and tell them over and over again, hey, I think that you hurt me. They're never going to get it. I honestly feel like these people are so far gone into their delusions that they need something like deeper than a therapist. It's like they need like a shaman or like I'm so serious. I'm really, really not lying. They need like Eastern. Either that or like someone who specializes like in de-radicalizing cult mentality or something. I'm so serious. I really feel that in my brain. But that's really, really far going, people. Mostly for the most part, it's like, dude, they're not going to change. Accept it, move on, But you staying in their life for any longer than is necessary is just going to hurt you. It's going to end in your utter destruction if you stay. And I know that's hard because a lot of times these narcissists are people who are really close to us. It could be our parents. It could be our children. It could be our friends. It could be our siblings. It could be our aunts, our uncles. It could be our bosses. It could be our best friend, like literally. But just think about it. It's always going to end in your destruction. That's where that relationship ends. Unless you're dealing with a narcissist who is deeply self-aware and who's really, really trying to do the work. If that's not the case, it's going to end in utter destruction. They're in this for the long run game. And they're so heartless that it's like, if you got destroyed, they somehow rationalize it with themselves like it wasn't their fault. They'll just be like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they'll be like, they'll be like, it's really unfortunate, that this person, is no longer in my life. But hey, what can you do? They'll milk for like 0.5 seconds and then your bloody carcass will just be on the floor and they'll just move on to the next supply. I'm so serious. They're in it for the long run game. Like they really, really expect you to be the perfect supply. That's what's the most insidious about it, is that like when you come into their life, they expect you to do what you first did when you first met them or when it was in the good days. They expect you to think that they're so creative and smart and talented and attractive and beautiful and giving. They expect you to keep seeing that even when you see that is not the dang on truth, that these people are crazy, okay? But they still expect it. And then by the end of it, you're absolutely exhausted. But they are not. They are not. Like, narcissists are the type of people, like, as we said on this channel before, not every narcissist is a psychopath, but every psychopath is a narcissist. Narcissists are the type of people, they don't need much sleep. They can get 4 or 5 hours of sleep every single night. It's like serial. Like seriously, 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night, they're good. Okay? It's why narcissists make such good CEOs. It's why they make such like Mickey Mouse level evil villains. It's like they will play the long run game. They'll play dirty, they'll stomp on people, anything. It's all a matter of control and conquer. I'm going to control this situation, control these people, control these groups, these marginalized groups, these workers, these slaves, whatever it is, I'm going to control you so that I have all the authority, I have all the power. And when you break, if you don't have to break, just be a good little boy, be a good little girl, whatever it is, and, you won't break. But of course that never happens. Anybody would break under that sort of pressure. And when you break, they will crunch, stomp right over you and go to the next supply. It doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. It's a long run game. And like I said, They're the type of people literally who don't need much sleep. They wake up every day and have their little routine. They eat their friggin' granola with their muesli and, almond milk with their berries. They eat nothing but like broccoli and blueberries because they want to live to be like 150 because they just are that narcissist. Um, like they literally are like robots. There's no love in there. There's just like no love. It's just like a robotic person. So they can do the long run game. Like eventually you will break down. You'll break down in tears. You will not have the will to keep going. You will be hurting inside. You'll feel pain. You'll feel sadness. You'll feel love. You'll feel longing. You'll feel desire. You'll feel anger. You'll feel hate. All of that. You feel that whole spectrum of human emotions. They're like robots. Literally, they're like robots. Like, all they think is like, how can I get a compliment? How can I win this? Control, control, control. That's it. That's it. That's all you're going to get. So, don't try to play the long run game. Just save yourself a lot of grief that I did not, Don't keep trying to go back and say, oh, well, I need closure. Or, I just need to check and see that this person is okay. Or, maybe I was the wrong one in all this. No, just let it go. Let it go. You cannot help. You did everything that you could. You tried. You cannot help, If anything, you're just going to hurt yourself. You are worthy, okay? You are worthy. You are held. You're held down. By who? By you. By you and by others like you. By us, all of us that's been through this craziness. And you know what? We're still here. You got this. Don't go back. Don't play that long run game. You won't endure. You will not endure. They are the Energizer Bunny. Your batteries are out. Just let it go. But I want to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments, how did you survive that long run game of control, that nature of authority and control and manipulation? Did you survive it? Are you in the throes of it? I really would love to know. I think everybody who's been through this would love to know as well. If you feel open to share, we'd love to know. And please keep coming back. We talk about all types of stuff on this channel, so I would love to have you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you know whenever I post a video, and I will see you guys next time. I love you. You are awesome. See you guys next time. Bye.